Dear friend, from the age of 60 onward, many people start to feel short of breath during physical activity, experience irregular heartbeats, or even get tired just by climbing a few steps. Many assume these are normal signs of aging, but in fact the opposite is often true. The circulatory and respiratory systems are being silently affected, and this can absolutely be improved. According to a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, practicing deep breathing for just 5 minutes a day not only helps stabilize blood pressure and improve heart rate, but also enhances vascular elasticity, with an effect comparable to 30 minutes of brisk walking. I'm Dr. Samuel Grant, and throughout more than 2 decades of working with seniors, I've seen firsthand that just by changing the way you breathe, deeply, consistently, and mindfully, you can significantly improve cardiovascular health without needing medication or complex medical devices. That's why in today's journey, I'll guide you through a simple, easy-to-follow breathing exercise that takes only 5 minutes a day, yet can bring surprising benefits for your circulation, sleep, and mental clarity. And most importantly, don't miss the end of this video because I'll share with you a special tip that can double the effectiveness of this breathing practice. It's something most people overlook, even those who already practice regularly. Please stay with me till the end. I believe it's something no one should miss. But before we begin, may I ask, what's your name and where are you watching this video from? I'd truly love to know who's joining me on this journey and how far these messages of natural cardiovascular care are reaching. Please feel free to leave a comment below. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can continue receiving simple, science-backed, and practical health tips for older adults. And if you have any questions related to heart health, blood pressure, or breathing, feel free to share them below. I'll gather your questions and address them in future videos. Now, let's begin with the first part of this journey, where you'll discover why just a small adjustment in your daily breathing can lead to deep and lasting improvements in cardiovascular health and overall well-being after 60. Part 1. Why just 5 minutes of proper breathing a day can improve cardiovascular health. Many people after the age of 60 begin to notice their breathing becoming shorter and feel discomfort when trying to take a deep breath. But few realize that this is one of the early signs indicating the circulatory and respiratory systems are no longer functioning as efficiently as before. When oxygen isn't sufficiently delivered to the tissues, the heart has to work harder to compensate, leading to fatigue, palpitations, and even prolonged insomnia. A study from the Journal of Hypertension shows that practicing deep, slow, and controlled breathing can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, helping to regulate heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and improve blood circulation naturally. In other words, you're allowing your heart to work more gently without the need for intense exercise or medication. You don't need a gym, you don't need special equipment. Just a quiet chair and 5 minutes a day can gradually help you rebuild your body's natural regulation system. More importantly, with consistent practice, your body will start to remember this breathing rhythm as a reflex, helping you sleep deeper, build stamina, and stay mentally sharp, an incredibly valuable state in midlife and old age. Right after this, I'll guide you step by step through how to do this breathing practice properly. A method that's simple, yet has already brought real results to many of my patients. Dear friend, if you're still watching this video at this point, I'm truly glad, because it means you genuinely care about your longevity. Please continue exploring this journey with me and feel free to comment with the number 1 below so I know you're still here, right alongside me. Part 2. 5-minute breathing guide, step-by-step, simple, and easy to do at home. The breathing exercise I'm about to guide you through is specially designed for seniors, even those who have never practiced any kind of breathing techniques before. We'll start with the simplest basics, no physical strength required, no special equipment needed. First, find a sturdy chair with a backrest. Sit upright with your back straight, shoulders naturally relaxed, and both feet firmly planted on the floor. Your hands can rest gently on your thighs or on your lower abdomen to help you feel the movement of your breath more clearly. The most important thing is to keep your body in a comfortable, relaxed state. No tension, no force. The breathing will follow a pattern known as 4-2-6. You'll inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, gently drawing the air down into your lower belly. Then, hold your breath for 2 seconds to give your lungs time to absorb the oxygen. Next, exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds, gently and evenly. Repeat this cycle continuously for about 5 minutes, which equals roughly 20 to 25 breaths. While practicing, you can count silently in your head to stay focused, or if you prefer, play some gentle background music to help relax your mind. When done correctly, you'll begin to feel your chest expand, your heart rate stabilize, your mind become clearer, and your entire body ease into a state of deep relaxation. This is a strong sign that your nervous system and cardiovascular system are gradually being reset toward a more natural state of balance. So then, what is the most ideal time of day to practice this breathing technique for maximum benefit? I'll share that with you in the very next part. Part 3, the 2 golden time windows to maximize your breathing results. Besides using the right technique, when you do the breathing practice plays a key role in how effective it will be. That's because the human body runs on a natural circadian rhythm, an internal cycle that governs the activity of the heart, lungs, and nervous system at different times of day. Based on studies in human physiology, there are 2 time windows identified as the most optimal for deep breathing, especially for older adults. The first is in the early morning, between 6 and 8 a.m. When the circulatory system is just starting to activate, hormones are gradually balancing, and the air is richer in oxygen, creating ideal conditions for optimal gas exchange. The second time window is in the late afternoon or early evening, between 6 and 8 p.m., when the body is starting to wind down from the stress of the day. At this point, the nervous system begins shifting into relaxation mode, and breathing practice during this time can help slow the heart rate, soothe emotions, and improve sleep quality. However, it's important not to practice after 10 p.m., as that's when the body enters its natural recovery phase. Late breathing exercises may backfire, making it harder to fall asleep or even increasing your heart rate. And if you want your breathing session to unlock its full potential, there's another factor worth paying attention to: your nutrition, both before and after the practice. Certain natural nutrients can greatly enhance respiratory and circulatory performance. We'll explore that next. Dear friend, if you're still watching at this point in the video, I truly thank you for your patience and dedication to your own health. Leave a number 3 in the comments below to let me know you're still on this journey with me. Part 4, nutrition that supports breathing. The secret to enhancing cardiovascular recovery. Not many people realize that getting the right nutrients each day can significantly determine how effective deep breathing exercises truly are. Because if your blood is lacking essential micronutrients, then even with correct breathing techniques, the oxygen exchange process will still be considerably limited. A few natural nutrients play a particularly crucial role in supporting cardiovascular and respiratory function, such as magnesium, coenzyme Q10, and plant-based flavonoids. These compounds help blood vessels become more flexible, improve the heart's pumping efficiency, and reduce oxidative stress, a silent contributor to weakened circulation and respiratory decline over time. You can easily find these nutrients in everyday foods like pumpkin seeds, dark leafy greens, beets, or pomegranate juice. Adding these to your meals, especially before or after your breathing session, not only improves blood quality, but also boosts the body's ability to transport oxygen more efficiently to vital organs. In the next section, I'll share with you a commonly overlooked factor: your breathing posture and environment. It may sound simple, but if done incorrectly, it can significantly reduce the impact of the entire practice. Let's explore that right away. Part 5, posture and environment, the foundational keys to breathing effectiveness. One seemingly small factor that greatly influences your breathing results is the posture you sit in and the space you choose for practice. Many people assume that simply breathing correctly is enough. But in reality, if your posture is off or your environment isn't ideal, it's hard to feel the full benefits. In fact, it may leave you feeling dizzy or fatigued, even if you've followed all the right steps. The recommended posture is to sit on a chair with a firm backrest, keep your back straight, relax your shoulders and neck, and plant both feet firmly on the ground. Your hands can rest lightly on your thighs or lower abdomen to help you sense your breath's movement. You shouldn't lie down when doing this breathing exercise, as lying flat can misdirect airflow, reduce breath depth, and possibly make you drowsy, especially if you're practicing in the evening. The space where you breathe also matters. Choose a quiet, well-ventilated area with soft lighting, avoiding drafty or overly cold spots. The key is to feel safe, private, and calm, because when your mind is at ease, your body can respond better to the practice. And if you're thinking about making this breathing exercise a part of your daily life, then in the next section, I'll show you how to turn this into a sustainable habit. simple, pressure-free, and even suitable for those with busy schedules. Part 6. Turning breathing into an easy habit, even for busy people. In reality, many people start out breathing practice seriously, but stop after just a few days. Not because it's difficult, but because they haven't built it into their daily routine. To maintain its effectiveness, you don't need to overhaul your entire schedule. You only need to anchor it to a consistent point in your day so that breathing always fits into the same slot. One effective approach is to link your breathing session to a familiar action, like right after brushing your teeth in the morning or just before going to bed. Once repeated long enough, your brain will start to recognize the sequence automatically, so you won't need to remember to practice. It simply becomes a part of your rhythm. In addition, creating a small space dedicated to breathing can help you stay motivated. It could be a chair near a window, a soft mat in the corner of your room, or any spot where you feel peaceful. It doesn't need to be fancy, just a space where you truly want to sit down and spend a few minutes reconnecting with yourself. And if you're wondering, besides physical benefits, can this breathing practice also improve emotions, mood, or mental clarity for seniors? The next section will give you a surprising but scientifically grounded answer. Part 7. The positive impact of breathing on emotions and mental clarity after 60. One benefit that's rarely mentioned, but extremely important, of practicing daily breathing exercises is the emotional and mental stability it brings, especially for older adults. Numerous neurological studies have shown that deep, controlled breathing sends a safety signal to the brain, which in turn reduces levels of cortisol, the hormone directly linked to stress and anxiety. When cortisol decreases, seniors tend to feel lighter, better at managing their emotions, and more likely to fall asleep with ease. Beyond that, deep breathing supplies a rich flow of oxygen to the brain, particularly to the hippocampus, the area responsible for processing memory and emotion. That's why just a few weeks of consistent breathing practice has led many people to report improved sleep, feeling more alert in the morning, and sharper mental clarity throughout the day. In particular, among those with mild cognitive decline, combining proper breathing with circadian rhythm regulation has delivered noticeable and encouraging results. And if you're wondering what makes me believe so deeply in this breathing method, then in the next part, I'll share real patient stories from those who were skeptical at first, but changed their minds completely after a few weeks of steady practice. Part 8. Real-life stories, when breathing transforms health without medication. Throughout my years working with older adults, I've heard the same doubt time and again. Doctor, how could breathing alone possibly help? And I fully understand that skepticism, because breathing sounds too simple to make a real difference. But then, it was those very same skeptics who later came back to tell me how their lives had changed after giving it a try. Some told me they finally slept through the night, something they hadn't experienced in years. Others, who used to feel dizzy every time they stood up, said they now felt steadier and more comfortable. There were even those under treatment for high blood pressure, whose doctors had to lower their medication dosage after just a few weeks of regular breathing because their numbers had stabilized. What they all had in common was this: they didn't take new medications, they didn't follow complicated diets, they didn't start intense workouts. All they did was breathe the right way at the right time and consistently. These results aren't magic. They come from understanding simple, fundamental principles and patiently applying them. And in the final part coming up, I'd like to leave you with one powerful message. A note from me personally to anyone seeking renewed control and hope on their journey toward better health after 60. Part 9. Just one breathing practice, a gateway to recovery after 60. There's something I always tell my older patients. Health doesn't come from a miracle cure. It's the outcome of small actions repeated each day. And among those small actions, breathing correctly, though simple, can become one of the most valuable if you stay consistent. Daily breathing doesn't just improve circulation or regulate your heart rate, it gives you back the feeling of being in control of your own body, something many people feel they've lost after 60. When you realize that you can still do something good for your health, even if it's just 5 minutes a day, that alone is a meaningful victory. Over time, breathing stops being a task and instead becomes a personal ritual, a moment where you reconnect with the rhythm of your inner life. No matter your age, taking care of yourself is something you can always come back to, and this breathing practice may be the perfect starting point. Coming up next, I'll help you review this entire process in a clear and easy-to-remember way so you can start today, even if this is your very first introduction to the method. Part 10. From steady breathing to a healthier heart. If you've stayed with me up to this point, you'll realize that the 5-minute daily breathing practice is not just a standalone technique. It's actually a series of supportive elements working together, from correct posture, optimal timing, a quiet environment, proper nutrition, to the emotional and mental impact it brings. You don't need to memorize every complex detail. Just start with a simple step. Sit down, breathe using the 4-2-6 rhythm in a quiet place, either early in the morning or late in the afternoon, and repeat it daily. The changes will come slowly, but surely. The improvement may be subtle, but deep enough for you to clearly feel that your body is gradually returning to a balanced state. This breathing exercise isn't only for those struggling with blood pressure, sleep, or mental health. It's also a simple yet effective preventive method, especially for anyone entering middle age wanting to live healthily in a natural and proactive way. And if you need just one more reason to stay on this path, then the next part will bring you a truly inspiring story about an elderly man who once believed he no longer had a chance to improve his health, but later proved the opposite. Part 11, a true story, when one small habit helped a senior regain hope. I still remember very clearly a patient named Robert, over 70 years old, who lived alone after his wife passed away. When he first came to see me, he had almost given up hope of improving his health. His eyes showed exhaustion, and he said something I'll never forget. "I've been taking medications for years, but I just keep feeling weaker." Maybe at this age, giving up is just the normal thing to do. I didn't ask him to change his diet or start high-intensity workouts. Instead, I suggested just one thing. Every morning before doing anything else, spend 5 minutes sitting down and breathing in the 4-2-6 rhythm. No effort required, just repeat it gently every day. 3 weeks later, he returned with a soft smile and said, "Just by breathing, I feel my mind is clearer, I sleep more deeply at night, and my heart no longer races every time I get anxious. For the first time in a long while, I feel like I'm truly living, really alive." Robert's story is not an exception. Many people over 60 have experienced real changes without adding more medication, without complex diets, and without strenuous exercise. What they did was simply breathe the right way consistently and patiently. Dear friend, we've just gone through a journey that may seem simple, centered around the breath, but has revealed so much about physical, emotional, and mental health after age 60. If there's one message I hope you take away from this video, it's this: it's never too late to begin again. And sometimes, what your body truly needs isn't expensive medication, but just a quiet 5-minute pause each day to listen to yourself, calm your heart, and reconnect with your inner being. If you found today's content helpful, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss my upcoming videos, where I, Dr. Samuel Grant, continue to share ways to live healthier, more proactive, and more peaceful as you age. Thank you for staying with me until the very end of this video. Wishing you lasting health, peace of mind, and steady breaths every single day. I'll see you again in the next video.